How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So tomorrow, the plan is we're gonna go diving with my friends Braden and Hunter off of Hunter's boat, and we're gonna shoot it out to some zones, and then after diving for a little bit, we're gonna come back in, grab Keale. You guys remember Keale, he's been in a few of my videos before, and we're gonna grab him, shoot it back out, hopefully get some more fish. And the goal is just to get some good fish to eat, hopefully some steamers. Hunter wants to get a few goats, moanas, munus, moana cullies, kumus, stuff like that. And I don't really know what I want to shoot. I just want to shoot some fish. I haven't gone after fish in a little bit. I haven't dove in a little bit, actually. It's been a good amount of time, so that's the plan. Hopefully I can get some, I don't know, a yellow spot would be really nice. I haven't shot a nice yellow spot in a while, or a nice uku. I haven't shot a nice uku in a long time as well. But really, I'd be cool with anything, moose, omilus, stuff like that. Whatever's around, I just want to get some fish because it's been so long. So yeah, that's the plan for today. I'll see you guys in the water. Shoots! Alright guys, so as soon as I jumped in the water, I was seeing a whole bunch of roys around, and so I decided to take out a few of these guys because I haven't shot one in a while. So I line up on this big one right here, get a nice dive bomb shot. For those of you guys who don't know, I'm sure most of you do, but for those who don't, these guys are actually super invasive to our reef, and they're pretty known to have a lot of ciguatera, which is a fish-borne toxin, and so a lot of people don't shoot them and eat them, so it's kind of important to just take them off the reef. Yeah, I got a nice one here. First fish of the day. This guy was probably like a 2-3 pounder maybe. These guys eat so many native reef fish every year, and it's super destructive to our local reefs, so it's always good to take them out. So right here I saw another one. There's actually two of them. You can see there's a second one on the right swimming away, but this guy looked a little bigger, and he went underneath that rock, and I could just barely see his head poking out from that little gap right there where my shaft is going through. So I decided to try and take that shot, even though, you know, there was so little of him to aim at, and got lucky, managed to put the shot right in his gill plate, then yanked him out of there. So that's another one, and all of these like 2, 3, 4 pounders are super, like I said, super destructive to our reefs and our native fish population. You can see how big their mouth is. They can eat a lot of good sized reef fish, like baby reef fish. And I was also noticing where I was seeing all these roys, there was hardly any like goats or anything like that, any good native fish. So kind of a correlation there. But this roy goes underneath this hole right here, and I was thinking he was gonna pop out, but he doesn't. So then I started going to the other side. See him for a second there, but then he stays underneath the rock again, and then he didn't pop back out, so I go upside down right here, and I see him line up and take the shot. Yeah, another nice one off the reef. That's 3, and I didn't film all of the ones that I shot. I shot a bunch of them, but I didn't film all of them because it was getting kind of repetitive. But yeah, I just spent a good, I want to say like 30-40 minutes at this spot just shooting roys, and got a whole lot of them. This guy was actually pretty big, pretty good size. But yeah, they were all in that 2 to 3.5, 4 pound range. So after that, Braden shot this really nice size uhu right here. Really nice size speck. And he came back up. I didn't really know what he shot because it was kind of dirty, so I couldn't see. But he came back up with his gun, unloaded. And so I went back down to, even if he didn't shoot something, I was going to go get his shaft. But I saw a huge cloud of dust on the bottom, and then his line was all up inside this hole. And I checked the hole. Sure enough, he's got a really nice size speck. This guy was pretty big, probably like a 6 pounder, 6, 7 pounder. Yeah, really nice. This was his first fish of the day, I think. Super pretty fish too. As you can see, when I was on the bottom, it's actually not that dirty, but at the top, you can't even see the bottom, and we're only in like 20 feet, so 20, 30 feet. So it was kind of pretty dirty. We were taking a bunch of blind drops, just checking to see, like half drops, checking to see if there's structure or fish, and if there was stuff around, then we would take a full blind drop, just hoping to run into something. Bro, how's this for an invasive? Oh, there you go. Wow, look at that thing. Look at it next to my body. This thing is huge. I didn't even get this one on camera, but I shot it right after that smaller one that I shot at this spot. And look, he has a little parasite on his fin there. These guys are actually really pretty fish. It's unfortunate. They also taste really good too. It's just unfortunate that, you know, they're often loaded with ciguatera, or that's the word anyway. But yeah, big boy. Look at that thing. Sheesh. That's all. Another one off the reef. What is that? Waihana.
Called it.
Actually, keeping that. That's where one of Waihana's here.
Yeah.
Little Waihana. I think that's legal. I think the legal size is 8 inches. My shaka is 7. So that's legal. We're keeping that. Yes, so. Let's go again. First down. Watch out, I'm on! Oh, it was.
You actually are.
I am, yeah.
I'm gonna shoot it off.
Another Waihana.
Where's Hunter?
Right over there.
Rod.
Little Waihana. So I'm back. Braden's on! Oh god! What is it? What is it? Almost there. Keep reeling. Oh, double!
Double.
Oh! Ah, too small that. Yes, sir. Little guy.
Another Waihana. Yes, sir.
Oh my god. So after that, we actually switched spots, and Braden shot this nice Moana Kali. Probably like a 1.5, 2 pounder. Good eating size, that one. So after swimming around for a while, I actually started seeing a nice moo pile. And we're still shallow. This is still like 40 something feet. And I'm making a drop here because, like I said, we're seeing some nice moos around and they seem pretty tame. A lot of times if you run into moo piles, you can tell if they're going to be tame before you even drop, because when they're being curious, when they're feeding, they hang out closer to the bottom. When they're not, they hang out way up in the water column, and so you can kind of tell before you even drop if they're gonna be coming in or not. But yeah, I'm down here in this nice little hiding spot, dusting and scratching the bottom. The moose were hanging out pretty close to the bottom, so I figured they would be pretty curious, and sure enough, they start kind of coming in right here. So I scratch a little more, and then this one looks in range, but as you notice, I take a fast lunge, which is usually what I do, because moose, they'll sit for a little bit after that lunge, but as soon as I took that lunge, all the moose just took off. And I did that a couple more times, doing that quick lunge to try and get that extra distance, get a little extra closer to them. But both times all the times that I did it fast, I noticed that they would just take off. So I take another drop, and I kind of have that in the back of my mind that when I'm taking these fast lunges, they actually get spooked. And so that usually does, and by the way, that usually doesn't happen. Usually you take that fast lunge and they'll just sit there for a little bit and they won't swim away. But like right here, I take a fast lunge again, you get spooked again. So I'm like, okay, this time I'm gonna make a little adjustment, and instead of taking that quick lunge, I'm gonna try to see what happens if I take a slower one. So I readjust myself, face the other way, and I start scratching and dusting. One comes in right here, and I take a little bit of a slower lunge, and sure enough, he stays in range just long enough for me to get that shot off. And I landed my first moo of the day. Really nice one here. Probably like a 3.5, maybe 4 pounder. Real good eating size. Definitely could get a couple fillets off this guy. But yeah, my first moo of the day. Got rewarded for shooting those roys. But yeah, really nice size one. So after that, I was noticing a bunch of toaus swimming around, and so before we left this spot, I wanted to try and grab a couple. So I'm going down with the single band here. I put my moo back on the boat. I actually forgot my kui, which was super annoying. But you can see there's a whole lot of toaus around me here, going in between these holes. And I'm just kind of waiting for a good size one to come in, close enough for me to shoot. Well, honestly, a lot of them were really small, and I don't know, I kind of wanted to take out a big one. For those of you guys who don't know, also, these guys are another invasive species, just like the roys that I was shooting earlier in this video. These guys are another introduced species that their population went out of control, and they also kind of hurt the reef. Not as bad as roys, but they're definitely still invasive, and so these guys are another one to get off the reef. Even if you're not going to eat it, you don't have to. They do taste alright. Same thing with the roys. The roys taste pretty good, but you don't have to eat them necessarily. You just gotta, it's just good to get them out of here. Yeah, I line up on that one right there. They came in close enough, and so I took the shot. Got another little invasive off the reef. But it was super weird. After I shot this one, the rest of them started getting super skittish, and I couldn't even get in range of these guys after I hit this guy. So kind of gave up on shooting the toaus, and I was going back to the boat. I was just gonna chill on the boat until Braden and Hunter came back. But I started noticing the moose were coming back around, after I dispatched this guy. So decided to take a couple more drops after landing this one to try and hopefully get another moo. So I'm making a drop right here. As you can see, I've got the toao on my shooting line because once again I forgot my kui, which was super annoying. But I start dusting and scratching, keeping my eyes down as I usually do with moos. I look up here, I see a few small ones, but they're way out of range and probably not even shootable size. So I'm trying to dust and see if any of the big ones will come in. I'm looking around here, trying to see if there's another section of the school that's on my right. I'm not really seeing any big ones, so I'm kind of getting ready to go up. And then I look behind me, and I see a good size one kind of just sitting. And so I line up here thinking that he's going to swim away, and I kind of fake some shots there. But then he wasn't moving, so I go back down, and I see him again. Sure enough, I line up, take my shot. He just stayed there the whole time. I was almost on my way up. I was in like this seated position and then aimed at him, took a few fake shots, and he didn't move, so went back down, looked up, he was still there, and then did a little lunge, didn't move, and so I just took the shot. It's kind of a weird one. I don't think I've ever shot a moo like that before. But got this almost reverse unicorn shot. And this guy was definitely smaller than the first one, but still a good eating size, maybe like a 2-pounder. And you can see there, I just like raised my hands, that I'm shrugging, confused, because super weird that he just stayed there, even though I was moving all over the place and you know, not hiding at all, almost in a seated position for a second, lined up on him, did all of this stuff, and he just didn't move. I guess he just wanted to be eaten. Yeah, another nice moo. Managed to get one more before heading back to the boat. Got 2 solid moos. Cannot complain. Moos are probably my favorite or second favorite eating fish on the reef. So to get a couple nice ones after shooting a bunch of roys all day, super stoked. Camera died while I was out there, but we're back at the harbor now. Got Hunter's 2 moos, my 2 moos. This one's pretty good size. Maybe like a 4, 4.5, 5 if I'm lucky. And then we got Hunter's really nice size cully. And then some good sized moonus here. And then Braden shot this Moana cully. Braden shot this nice speck. Yeah, solid haul. 3 people. Not too shabby, or 4 people actually. But yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.